A moving company apologized for the video of the worker tied up naked in the back of the truck. The Pick Your Own Cherry event has been canceled because of the birds, and the state of Oregon finally legalizes pumping your own gas after 72 years. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the Tuesday edition. Ooh, I got 3 weird news stories from around the world, per usual. And if you're new to Weird AF News, we do weird news 5 days a week, recorded inside a closet by yours truly. A moving company apologized after a salacious video emerged of someone tied up naked in the back of the truck. The video's gone viral of this major Japanese moving company out of Osaka, Japan, which is the food capital of Japan. In case you're wondering, I have visited and ate the most delicious food. All right, I'm sorry for veering away from our story at hand. This moving company had to say they were sorry. We're very sorry for the video that showed 2 of our employees, one of them tied up naked inside a truck and the other one flicking rubber bands at him. We have to apologize for such things. We're so sorry about the naked man in the back of our truck and the other employee abusing him. The life of movers is very complex. You wouldn't understand it unless you're a mover. You know, the work just gets to you. So sometimes you got to just unwind a little bit on your lunch break. Like, tie your coworker up, flick rubber bands at him. The name of the movie company is Art Moving Company, headquartered in the city of Osaka. They acknowledged that the content of the video was inappropriate behavior by its workers. No kidding. We admit it's inappropriate behavior. What would it have taken for you not to admit that that was inappropriate behavior? That's what I want to know. Captain Obvious. The video shows an employee tied up naked, tied to a wall inside a truck container, and the other man pulling an elastic band, rubber band, flicking it toward him, hitting him in the face. And this is torture, man. Well, I mean, it's torturous, but it's not as bad as moving all day. Ooh, that's the worst activity you can get involved in. Moving? Oh, I'd rather have a sharp stick in my eye or be tied up naked in the back of a box truck. Now, although this video just went viral, the company admitted it was from earlier this year. The man who was tied up has actually left the company. I wonder why. Can anyone tell me what they think the reason this man would have left the company? It couldn't have been what they did to him on his lunch break, could it? I don't know. I'm just postulating here. I'm not very smart. I'm not a detective. I'm not Sherlock Holmesy. But the guy left the company, and I can't understand why. The other man who is flicking the rubber is still employed, so they're keeping the naked man abuser on board. The location where the video was taken has not been disclosed because it would lead to the identification of all the parties involved. Wouldn't want to do that. You're just going to have to guess who was involved in the naked truck rubber band incident. A company representative commented, "We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience and concern this may have caused. We will conduct further internal investigations and take strict actions based on the results, while implementing thorough in-house training to prevent a recurrence." Yes, you should include this in your in-house training. Hey guys, just one thing you probably don't want to do when you're moving. Don't tie your coworker up naked in the back of the truck. If you could avoid that, that'd be fabulous. Furthermore, we would appreciate if you didn't tie anybody up naked in the homes that we're moving to and from. That would be very helpful. I'm just wondering how this all happened. Is this a prank? Is it, if I didn't know it was an employee, I would have guessed they were moving this naked man from one house to another. Strange request. Yes, if you guys could get all the boxes that I have in the den, there's some in the garage. Oh, and if you could grab the naked man in my bathroom, and he's in the tub. If you could transport him to the next residence, and I guess the bathroom on the first floor will be fine. Just place him in there. Yes. The cherry picking event has been canceled because of pesky birds. Oh, those pesky birds. A Pick Your Own Cherries event in Cornwall had to be canceled after the blackbirds came and ate all of the fruit. How sad. A pick your own cherries event sounds like a great time. It's cherry season. I ate cherries over the weekend. Did you eat some cherries over the weekend? They are delightful and delicious. I love cherry season. I love it. It's also mango season. I love it. Just love fruit. Let's learn about the Pick Your Own Cherries event. Sounds like a big deal. There's not a lot to do in Cornwall, guys. They all look forward to the cherry picking event. It was supposed to be held tomorrow, June 28th. The cherry picking event was set to span over 5 days. 5 days of cherry picking. That's a lot of days. Just smoke your weed and pick the cherries, man. 5 days. It's a cherry event. Do they at least have like bands playing while you're picking cherries? You know, millions of cherries. Cherries for me. Millions of cherries. Cherries for free. By the way, this cherry picking event was supposed to take place on the grounds of a medieval home in Calstock. Ooh, you get to pick cherries in the yard of a medieval house like our ancestors used to. Yes, yes, picking cherries like we used to before those pesky birds came in. Well, thank goodness you don't have to rely on these cherries for your major source of nutrition any longer because we've advanced from medieval times. But, you know, if we turn back the clock 400 years, these birds swooping in and eating all the cherries would have killed the whole town. Yeah. Now it looks like we have a quote here from Laura Jarman, not to be confused with Charmin. So she doesn't come from toilet paper money. She's from the National Trust. It doesn't say the National Trust of what. I'm going to guess it's the Cherry Trust. She works for the National Cherry Pickin' Trust. She said 80 of the trees had been cleared of the cherries as, quote, they had been feasted on by very cheeky blackbirds. She used that very colorful adjective that I like, cheeky. You'll find it in the UK. It means like pesky, or even it could mean perverted as well in certain contexts. We won't go there on this podcast. I like to keep it PG-13. All right, back to the birds and the cherries. This is a very happy story. Laura says the cherry orchards had been blossoming since 2004, but in the last few years there have been a larger amount of cherries. She says, we've been very excitedly planning our Pick Your Own Cherries event. And we were getting the planning in place and checking the cherries were ripening, and then the gardener came to tell me they were all gone. The gardener informed me they've been eaten. 80 trees worth of cherries had been feasted on by those very cheeky blackbirds. My event. It won't be popping off after all. You know, those birds are so cute, though. We don't really mind too much, you know. We'll just have everybody show up and pick their noses for 5 days, and we'll have grunge music playing. It'll be some cover bands. How do you guys feel about a Soundgarden cover band while you're picking your nose for 5 days? No worries, guys. Don't worry. If you like to pick things, you can still pick something, because Miss Jarman said they're going to plan to hold an apple picking event later in the year. Hopefully the cheeky blackbirds won't swoop in and eat all her apples. So I'll put a link to the apple picking event. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Want to create a podcast? Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, and distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn money all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Record and edit on your phone or your computer, distribute it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video podcasting options. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions as well. Best of all, as I said, free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. After 72 years, the state of Oregon finally legalizes pumping your own gas. And that's just wonderful. You no longer have to pump your own gas and risk being arrested. Because I know a lot of people that love to pump their own gas. And in the state of Oregon, they've had to do it after hours. They've had to sneak into gas stations and pump their own gas. This has been going on for a long time. There's underground gas pumping rings. So this will all go away now because it's now legal to pump your own gas. Sorry, I jest. Let's find out what's going on here. 72 years. After 72 years, Oregon's self-service gas prohibition has been decisively repealed in the state Senate. Though there have been intermediate years and exceptions, notably in rural counties in 2017 and during wildfires or heat waves, House Bill number 2426, as proposed, would require gas stations to staff half of their available pumps, but allow the other half to be self-service, just in case you want to pump the gas yourself and have a little fun. You want to just figure it out. You know, it's a fun experience pumping your own gas. It's probably people that have been living in Oregon for 72 years that have never pumped their own gas. It's a good time, guys. I pump my own gas all the time. I've been pumping gas since I was 3. Good at it too. I got my own method too. Before I put the nozzle back, I give it a sniff, make sure it's the good shit. Then I stagger to my car. Give it a good whiff, guys. I do enjoy the smell of gasoline for some reason. I'm not sure why. According to a report from the Oregonian, I don't know how you say this. I assume it's a journal. They say fuel companies have long pushed for the change due to staffing shortages. Yeah, because I imagine it's difficult to find all of these people to work your gas pumps. It's not a very great job. It probably doesn't pay very well. I don't know, though. I'm just guessing. The Northwest Grocery Association, an advocate for retail and food suppliers, claims that jobs won't be lost because half of gas pumps are already closed due to understaffing. Okay, so we're just solving that problem as it is. The provision in the bill to staff half of pumps reflects this statistic, effectively reopening gas stations that are understaffed. So they have the data, so this makes sense on some other level too. Full-service gas stations are a relic of the past, it says, from a time when adding fuel by yourself was dangerous and prohibited by state fire codes, but also inconvenient. Yeah, this comes from a time when it was dangerous, so you sort of had to have a quote, professional, someone who knew what they were doing. But that's no longer the case. And by the way, I've gone to these fully serviced gas stations, and, you know, although it's nice to not leave your car to do it, it takes longer. You have to wait. And I just want to get in and out. I don't want to be hanging at a gas station. So when I do it myself, it's very quick. And you don't even have to go into the thing now. You just slide your credit card, bam, you're good to go. One of the first self-service gas stations, it says, opened in 1947 in Los Angeles and started a change that caught strongly in the 70s. From then, self-service became the new normal, and when pay at the pump proliferated in the 80s with the rise of credit cards. From then, there have been staunch holdouts of full-service gas stations, the most famous of which is New Jersey. Oregon was the other. So New Jersey still has it. And everybody knows that Jersey does the full-service thing. Now, it says here, Oregon's bill crucially prevents gas stations from charging more for a full-service pump than a self-service, which will effectively eliminate full-service pumps. The economic advantage of self-serve, saving money for the owners of the stations, will shift legislature future pressure surrounding full-service stations, not to mention Oregon drivers that would prefer to save time by simply pulling up to an empty pump rather than waiting in line for a forced full-service pump. So there you go. Sounds like a positive change by lawmakers, one of the few you can point to. Oh, this just in, breaking news. The entire state of Oregon has caught fire as locals never have pumped gas before and have catastrophically failed. Yay! Bye-bye news. Bye-bye mainstream news. Hello, Weird AF News. I think I'm a cry. Bye-bye my news. Goodbye. Ooh, yeah. That's what's up. We finished it, guys. We did it. Oh, pretty high for this one and managed to get through. So thank you for spending the time. And I'll keep the outro brief. I don't have much to say. Just a big thanks for you spending the episode with me. It's pretty cool. If you'd like to write a review of the podcast, that's pretty cool. You can do it on Amazon or Apple Podcasts. And what's the other one? iTunes. There's a few others. You can leave reviews. Even on Spotify, you can write a review of the episode. And you can give the podcast itself 5 stars. That'd be cool if you gave it 5 stars. Please do that if you're listening on Spotify. Just click the 5-star thing. That makes me smile. It makes me smile like a cat that grants wishes. Did any update on the family selling the cat that grants wishes? Did anyone buy it that listens to this podcast? I'd love to know if it granted your wishes. Probably just wish to get your $127,000 back after you realize the cat's just a normal house cat. Doesn't do anything. Anyways, why am I talking about a story that happened yesterday? I know why. Life's good, guys. Life's good. Just stay with it. Just stay with it. It gets better, too. I think it gets better. 4th of July is coming up. Oh, I know I'll be doing a little traveling for 4th of July. I'm looking forward to it. What are you guys doing for 4th of July? You going to invite me to your barbecue or what? You going to invite me over? I like tri-tip. How about that? How about I come over for your tri-tip? Tri-tip. That is not a reference to genitalia, by the way. That's a reference to some good BBQ, bro. Get that good BBQ. I like a nice smoky sweet barbecue sauce. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to give it the Kool-Aid guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a Kool-Aid guy. Oh, yeah. I should do that more often. This deserves a Kool-Aid guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's pretty good, right? I can say anything I want on here. It's my show. It's pretty cool, right?